what if Ashley decided to give via an envelope, just cash or check during a Sunday service? So what that's going to look like is we're going to move over to the batches page. So batches is the tool that you will use to count those donations. You can enter donations both for cash and check, but you can also use this as a way to add donations from other platforms. So you're collecting donations from another online platform. Those can all be added within batches as well. So I'm going to show you just a simple example of how you can set up batches. These can be set up in a way that can work for your church. So if this example doesn't perfectly meet your needs, really creating batches and groups and things like that on this page, it's all customizable. It can be named however you want. So I'm just going to show you an example of typically what I would suggest to people if they ask me how to set up a batch and they're not really sure how they want to move forward. What I did here is I set up a group for this past Sunday, so January 5th, 2020. Under that group, I have two sections. One is there's the batch for cash, and then there's a batch for checks. So if Ashley gave by cash, and she had her name on the envelope that she gave in, I can type out Ashley's name. I'll select her. I'll say another $20 donation, this time to the Costa Rica mission trip. And then I will choose the receive date of the 5th, the source planning center, and then I'll say that that is a cash donation. That's all I got to do. And then I can click next donation, and you'll see in that batch, that donation will be listed in the itemized list of donations further down on that page. So say you have cash donations that came in the plate, but really aren't tied to anybody's name. It's just cash in the bucket. What you'll want to do with that is you want to assign that donation to an anonymous donation. So the way you do this is just start typing the word anonymous. I'm just going to start there, and then you'll see at the bottom here, or an option here, you'll be able to click anonymous donor. This way, in this top section, you'll notice it's anonymous. I can type in that donation of $20 to general, say that it was received on the 5th, it was cash, and then next donation. I'll show you how to look up all the anonymous donations in your account later on, but that's just how you enter those anonymous donations if you do have those coming in through your offering. So say Ashley gave by check instead of by cash. I wanted to kind of pause here for a second just to show you there are a couple tools when you're working both with cash and check donations, anything that you enter into batches that can kind of speed up this process. You noticed before I was clicking through each of those fields, but if we know that we're collecting donations all for the 5th of January, what we could do is we could use this tool called batch defaults. This section here, if you click this, you'll be able to pre-select fields for donations before they're entered. So say everything you are counting is going to the general fund for this time around. You know everything that you're counting right now is received on the 5th. It's all coming through Planning Center, and in this case, we're looking at the payment method of check because we're counting the check donations. We can also say the check date for the majority of these will be the 5th. These can be edited later on as well as you're entering. It's just that this is going to be the pre-selected fields when you save this. So when I save these batch defaults, you'll notice that this section turns blue, just meaning that it's been set. So now we'll say Ashley gave a check donation. So search for Ashley, we'll choose her, and you'll notice that all of these fields that I just edited are already filled in. The only thing really I have to do at this point is say the amount and then next donation. That donation will show, and everything has been processed as I wanted it to. So that really can speed up the process, especially if you have a number of checks that you're going through. Another great tool that we have available is check readers. So I actually have a check reader right here I'm going to pull up. So what you can do with this is check readers are designed to read what's called the MICR number off the bottom of a check. And that MICR number can be assigned to a donor's profile. So that way, the first time I scan this, it'll take me through the process of assigning it to a donor's profile. We're going to assume I've already done that for Ashley. What I'm going to do is scan this check, and then when I scan it, it'll bring up Ashley's profile. So all I got to do is send this through, and what you'll see is that it's scanned, Ashley's profile comes up, and then you'll also see that because I have those batch defaults already set, all those fields are already set. So again, we'll say if she's giving $20 yet again, all I got to do is enter the donation amount and hit next donation, and you'll notice that those will come up there. So yeah, that donation is now entered into that batch. So those are a few tools that kind of speed up the batch process, but there is still one more step that you'll want to do as you're counting donations. Once you get all the donations into batches, you have it all organized the way you want, what you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure that this batch is committed. If you have these in groups, you'll want to select the group. You'll see that you can commit the group up with this green button, and it notes that there's 2 batches a part of this, and I'm going to hit commit. So it'll give you some information about what committing does, and then you can complete that. It'll update, and then just in a second, it will complete that process, and now those donations are committed. So the difference between an in-progress batch really and a committed batch, the main differences are these, that anything that is changed in a committed batch is logged, but also any committed donation or uncommitted donations, are not going to appear on a donor statement, and they're not going to appear on their profile yet. So until it's committed, those donations in a sense don't really count towards their donation history. So that's just an important step as you're walking through batches to make sure that each of your batches are committed to kind of seal and finish that process.